Hello, and welcome to Candy and Chaos, where candy's sweet, life is messy, and we do it all bougie on a budget. How you doing? So I know last time I had said that we were going to do a crafting special, but this one is going to be kind of like a bonus parenting special because I wanted to get my husband in on this because we've had some parenting things going on, and I thought it would be really interesting to see how we both parent because we parent very, very differently. And whether he wants to admit it or not, we do. And we kind of play the good cop, bad cop. Sometimes I'm bad cop, sometimes he's good cop. He thinks the kids don't like him, they love him, back and forth. So, anyway, as you recall from my last episode, we have a 17-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 12-year-old. And they are all very different human beings, but I feel like our middle child is getting more and more like our 17-year-old. And it's kind of funny because my husband was like, he's never going to be like our oldest. You know, he's going to be different, but we're slowly seeing that he is very much turning into our 17-year-old. So it's just kind of funny to see the different dynamic. So I thought it would be fun today to have my husband on the podcast. Say hi.
Hello.
And I'm going to have some parenting scenarios where I feel like we would have very different reactions to these parenting situations. Now, some of these have happened and some of these haven't happened, but I feel like with our kids, they could very much happen. So we're going to go through a few of them. We're going to talk about them. And then after the episode airs and you guys listen to it, I want to know how you would respond to them. Like, would you agree with me or would you agree with my husband? Or maybe you have a different take on it. So let me know. Leave a comment. Let us know. Okay.
And I would like to say that I am very much in the middle of being in the throes of a Gen X parent.
That is very true. So,
and while my wife is more of a millennial, technically on the edge of Gen X and millennial, I am dead center Gen X all the way. Anything you could define a Gen X is me.
that is very true. That's actually a really good point because I am 41. You will be turning 51 in March. And so, yeah, actually, that is a really good point that he was raised differently, obviously raised differently than I was, given a different time frame and also just different parenting styles. You know, I feel like his parents were very different than my parents, and his parents were together until, you know, they passed away, and my parents divorced when I was 10. And and he has what, 4 other siblings, right? Yeah, he's got 4 siblings. I have only one, and he's the baby of the family. So I feel like family dynamics also plays a big role in parenting. So that was a good point. Good job. Okay. So are you ready for it? All right. So I'm going to ask the first one, and I'm going to allow him to answer first, and then I'm just going to kind of tell him if he's wrong. I'm just kidding. But we'll talk about it. Okay. So the first one, he's going to laugh because it's kind of going to, I mean, I would probably do this, but the kids come home with a puppy they found and want to keep it. What would you say to them if they told you they wanted to keep the puppy?
So I'm very analytical. So if you said today we have 3 dogs already, if the kids came home, well, I'll also back up. I in the past have been very scared of dogs due to being attacked by Rottweilers when I was a kid. So I was very scared of dogs until I met Katie. So there's a lot of thought process around that. What kind of dog? Is the dog friendly? Is the dog nice? Is the dog lost? So all those things will go through my head. But in the end of the day, we already have 3 dogs and we don't need another one.
Where my thought process was like puppy. Like it's a puppy. We don't need to think analytical about it. It's a puppy. They bring home a puppy. Say Gavin comes home from work and he has a puppy that he found in the parking lot. And he says, I want to keep the puppy. And you're like, and so you turn analytical and you're like, what kind of dog is it? Is it friendly? I don't know. So what would you tell him to do with it?
Bring it to the pound. So when I was a kid, my sister found a puppy. I can't remember what it was. One of the ones that looked like a wolf.
Oh, a husky?
A husky.
Okay.
And tried to hide it in her room.
You
from
can't
my
hide a
parents.
husky in a room. You just can't.
So when my parents found out, they said bye.
Yeah. Where, I mean, and I think that different parts of, if so again, I think that I've found some puppies that I'd want to have. Like, we go to the pet store. We've been to a couple pet stores and there's been puppies. And I've actually said, no, I don't want any more pets. I know. But I still, when I watch online and stuff, people do the puppy distribution system and puppies just come running at them, or they find them at Walmart or something like that. I Yeah, I would probably say no puppy, but I'd have a really hard time and I would keep it until we would find a better home for it. We would keep it until we found a home. I wouldn't just bring it to the pound. I wouldn't bring it to the pound. We wouldn't bring it to the pound. We would keep it until we found it a better home. Don't you shake your head at me. That's what we would do. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Next one. One of our kids get into a fight at school. It's not their fault, but they get suspended anyway. What would you say?
What kind of fight?
A fist fight.
Did they throw the first punch?
They did not.
I would say good for them.
Okay, so this one.
No. Let me.
But this actually happened to one of our kids.
Let me say. I've always told my kids, don't get pushed around. Don't get in a fight. Don't be the one that instigates the fight. And don't throw the first punch. But if the first punch is thrown, all bets are off. Take it to what you want to do. You're not going to get pushed around in life. You're not going to get pushed around at school. Be the better person and take what you need to take from them. But if they punch you, all bets off.
And so I put this one in there because it did happen to one of ours. He was in sophomore, junior year in high school, and he got punched right in the face by a kid that came around the corner, and he knew this kid and he's had problems with him before, and he actually got in trouble. Like, the principal called us in and got in trouble. And I do agree with my husband on this one. Now, I am not a big confrontational person whatsoever, but you do have to protect yourself. And our oldest did not retaliate, but he still got in trouble, like a lot of trouble. And the other kid, not so much. And so we went in the meeting and they said, what are you going to be doing at home for this? And we said nothing. He didn't do anything wrong. He clearly was punched and he didn't retaliate and he still got in trouble. So I do agree with you on that.
Yeah, I clearly told him if the next time it happens that he will retaliate and punch back.
That comes with a grain of salt, of course. Like, you have to understand. So I think he's, and I hope he's saying, is that if you get punched in the face first and they continue to come back at you, then yes, protect yourself. I don't think that if you get punched once, they back off, they walk away, that you should then go and cold clock them. Like, I don't think that you should go running after them to then punch him because they punched first. Like, I'm about obviously protecting yourself. So if you're continually getting like hammered on, then yeah, you're going to protect yourself. But I'm not a big proponent of you then like running after this kid if he hits you and then, walks away. I guess is that what you're like, you think that they should go after him? So I guess it's a different question now. Okay, so then what if one of our kids gets punched and then the other kid just is like, boom, and then he walks away?
My opinion is do whatever you want to do at that point. If you want to take him out, take him out. I mean, that's where we're going to differ on that one, because I don't think that you should be starting a bigger fight. Like, I would want my kids to, yes, protect themselves, but I don't think that they should go and retaliate and then cause a bigger issue, because then it becomes a bigger fight, don't you think? Like, if I don't want them to think that they're bitching from there on.
No,
I mean,
but
in terms of that, if somebody comes after me and punches me in the face first, and I live that life as well. If somebody was in my face, I would never punch first, ever.
Okay, but
the two things that I'm going to do is either A, take it and go down and sue the hell out of them, or B, retaliate and shoot
Okay.
and hit back.
Okay. Well, and that's where we differ. And that's okay. I mean, that's where we are. And yes, we do tell our kids to always protect themselves. Like if you get hit first and they continue to hit you, then yes, protect yourself. Okay, moving on. This one's gonna be fun. One of our kids gets someone pregnant and wants the baby mama to come live with us.
No.
Even if they're in a relationship.
No.
And her parents kick her out. Ooh, I'm adding it to the question. So they get the girl pregnant. Yeah. I'm talking about our two boys. They get the girl pregnant. The mom kicks him out. They have nowhere to go. They're in a relationship, like a serious relationship, and he asks if she can move in.
No.
Really? Really? It wouldn't even be like a conversation. See, okay,
It would be a conversation.
This is why I put this one in here, because I know that we differ very much on this. Like, no, I don't want to be a grandma. Like, I would lose my shit if one of our kids came home. Now, mind you, they're 17, 14, but 17-year-old, I mean, it could happen. 15, it could happen. But I would lose my shit if one of our kids got a girl pregnant. However, if they were in a relationship, if we knew this girl, if she got kicked out, she had nowhere to go, this is our grandchild we're talking about, and our child, I would let her move in. 100%. There would be rules, like they'd have to work and they'd have to take care of this child and they'd have to take care of themselves, but absolutely I'd give her a roof over their head.
All right.
Are you pleading the fifth on this one? Okay, he's not saying anything.
My dad instilled.
Don't tell them what your dad said.
Exactly. So that's why I'm pleading the fifth. And so you take it as that.
Okay. All right.
Because you don't want to hear the things that I would say, and they're not bad. I mean, they're not bad to me, but I know you don't want me to say them, so I won't. So there you go.
Some very interesting ways of telling him how to not get a girl pregnant.
Correct. So they're it's like Planned Parenthood. My father had ideas of, do the thing, but make sure you do it in a certain way that you don't get a person pregnant. And so she doesn't want me to tell you that.
No, I don't think it's appropriate for the conversation that we're having. But anyway, we do teach our children, safe sex and being smart about it. But me personally, I know that I would have a very hard time saying no. So there's that.
So I'm going to finish with that and say that there's a lot of responsibility in many parties, and we're not talking about half of the parties in that. So
no,
there's a lot of discussions that need to be happening. I agree. That. So when I say no, it's my initial reaction, and in the end, there would be 8 months of discussion of what would happen in that situation.
And I agree with you. Like, I really think that this is obviously a bigger discussion. These are obviously questions that don't even scratch the surface of what if this actually happened. And I'm aware of that. But my initial reaction would be like, I would be so pissed. I would be so upset. But at the end of the day, I would agree if everything, underneath that worked out. Okay. What if one of our kids gets arrested for shoplifting? What would you do?
Depends on how they learn from that situation.
So say they stole, trying to think, like a big ticket item. Like it was significant, like over $500 worth of stuff.
I don't think it matters what the price tag of it is.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I got detained and arrested for shoplifting when I was a kid.
You did?
Yeah.
I did not know. What did you steal?
CDs.
I did not. I never knew that. What did your parents do?
Um,
Wait, how old were you?
17, 18?
Did you tell your parents?
No.
Oh.
Wait, no, well, they found out, obviously, because the cops called them.
Oh, what'd they do?
They were just very disappointed.
You weren't like grounded or anything? Like
Well,
you didn't
yeah,
have to
I
do
mean,
anything?
I didn't really get grounded per se.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Gen X, my parents were very hands off, and
Mm-hmm.
they told me what to do, and whether or not I decided to do that was a story. And again, I was the very much the it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? Because
Right, right. Yeah.
I oftentimes was not home, and you know from 7 to 17 home at
Yeah,
10
that's
p.m.
true.
So,
That's true.
anywho, my father was very disappointed with me.
Mm-hmm.
I went and did the things that I needed to do, and the personality I am, I was very um embarrassed by it, and I learned from it, and I didn't do it again.
Right.
So it depends on what my kid um learns from it and how he responds to it.
Don't you think that our kids would respond to it very differently though? Like I think that our oldest would respond very differently than our middle as opposed to our youngest. Like I think that their personalities are very different where our oldest would be like, yeah, so like I stole this, I gave it back, whatever. Our middle, I think, would be would be very upset, more like you, embarrassed and
Hmm.
like upset about it. And then our youngest, I don't even know if she would shoplift, but if she did, she would also be very upset about it and remorseful about it. So, and I want to say that I think our kids have only been grounded like once, and I think it lasted like a day or two.
So I'm going to
So,
say that Katie's personality in terms of parenting is that the punishment is the same for all three. And
yes.
my vision of it is that exactly what she said. Each one of them would take it differently, and each one of them should have a different um, punishment due to that, because each one of them would take it differently, and the punishment would um, be more effective based on who they are.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that if any one of them got caught shoplifting, they wouldn't be going out anytime soon. They would be going out with us. They would not be going on our whatever the punishment would be, they would do it. And I think for me too is I would have a hard time because I would be embarrassed. Would you be embarrassed if one of our kids got caught shoplifting? Like I would just be like, "What? The world happened." Like you wouldn't be embarrassed by it? Like as a parent?
I'm gonna lean on my Gen X stage and say it's a learning
Yeah, see, I would be
it's a
embarrassed.
learning situation, and now if they did it continually, regardless of being caught, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
don't know. I
once
would
and learn, no.
I would have a really hard time not being embarrassed. All right. So, what about we get a phone call from the school and we find out that one of our kids has been bullying another child who has special needs?
Um, it's not gonna fly.
What would you do?
I mm,
Because the reason I asked this one is I've seen a lot on social media, like of how people are handling this. Like one woman had their kid hold really heavy cans, like a flat of cans, and had him hold it, and he was starting to get really uncomfortable and crying. And she was like, "Well, how do you think that other child feels?" Another one had their kid walk home from school with them behind them. Another one had them standing on a corner with a sign that says "I'm a bully." Another one had them go apologize to the child. So, like, I'm just wondering, what would you do if we get a phone call and they're doing that? Let me preface this also by saying that I would hope our children wouldn't because we've taught them to be respectful and kind. These are very much just things I've thought of either through social media or things like that. We would never want our children to do that. But if they did, what would you say?
well, I mean, first of all, I would tell them how disappointed I was in their actions with that. Anything that they held dear in terms of their day-to-day life and what
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to do would probably end for, I couldn't even think of how long
A
that
very
would,
long time.
or just never be a thing again. Um,
Yeah.
I I don't know if I necessarily in, humiliate them in public on like a street or something like that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but they would certainly I would have to think through what I can make them feel the same sort of pain that
Mm-hmm.
they're inflicting on someone else.
I agree. I think that we agree on this one because I did this one too because many years I worked with special needs kids and I would be appalled. I would be so upset at our children if they bully, and if they bullied anybody, I would be so upset. And a phone, and I feel like our kids are very privileged and very lucky in the things that they have, and I would make them uncomfortable. Their phone would be gone, their computers would be gone, their tablets would be gone. Whatever they like Jason said, whatever they had that made them the way that they are, I'd take it away. And they would be stripped bare of all necessities, basically, because that's how serious I would be about this one. Again, getting someone pregnant, yeah, that would be terrible. But and getting caught shoplifting, terrible. But this one would really grate my gears, and I think I would have a really hard time trying to match how they would make that other person feel. So I think this one is
I
hard.
would I would go into the fact of bullying anyone.
Oh yeah,
It
no,
doesn't necessarily mean special needs.
no.
I would say it would be bullying anyone.
I agree. No. And again, it was just one that I saw online and I brought it up. But absolutely, bullying absolutely anybody. That's a zero. Well, they say zero tolerance at school, but I agree. I mean, I agree that it would just be absolutely not. This one is the one that got my blood boiling the most, and I made up these questions. All right, let's see. Oh, this is a good one because it kind of happened. Kid gets caught speeding, doesn't pay the speeding ticket, and we get notified after the fact when they are in bigger trouble because they didn't pay the ticket.
What would I do?
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, I pay the insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they don't drive.
Right.
But they don't drive.
Yeah. I'm scared. Do you think I'm a pushover as far as parenting goes? Because I feel like, yes, my first initial reaction would be like, yeah, they don't drive. But then I think, but how are they going to get to school? How are they going to get to work? How are they going to do all these things? And I was like, well, maybe if they just pay the speeding ticket, then I mean they learn their lesson,
Well,
right?
I mean, they have to learn that life has consequences
Yeah.
in terms of that. But um, for me, they would have to pay the ticket,
Right.
but they wouldn't drive. And
Okay.
depending on, so in our situation, the kid has the ability to use his two legs and walk to school because it is close enough for them to do so.
Even for the first time, like first time this has ever happened, they get caught speeding. They pay the ticket finally. We're like, dude, you pay the ticket, and he pays the ticket. You would still not let him drive.
Well, so you said they didn't pay the ticket.
Right. I mean, don't
Speeding,
they add on money to a speeding ticket?
right? So that's the kicker for me in terms of going from just a speeding ticket and paying it. That, I mean, everyone's going to get. I mean, I've gotten speeding tickets.
Or
Well, I've gotten a few speeding tickets, and I'm responsible enough and paid them.
yeah.
Um, if my child got a speeding ticket and paid it and moved on, that's fine. But if they get a speeding ticket, don't pay it, then that's another level of ignorance. And so then they need to be taught a lesson. So.
Well, I'm laughing because how many times have I gone through a toll booth of the Easy Pass and I forget to pay the ticket? So the ticket's like $2 and then we get like a $30 or $40 bill. And I'm laughing about it because I do eventually pay it, but.
And you probably weren't given the.
I wasn't giving the proper consequence of doing it. So anyway, all right. So we're getting up to the half an hour mark. So I'm gonna ask one more, and then we'll close it out. There's a couple that I skipped over. Wants to get a tattoo or piercing before they're of age to get them themselves. So the age of getting a tattoo is 18. Piercing is also 18. So like, if one of our kids comes to you and says, "I want to get a tattoo, will you sign off for me?" Would you do it?
So many different scenarios in that.
If you approve of the tattoo. They show you the so say it's of our dog Luna.
Okay. Piercing.
Yes.
We're going to go for that.
Okay. Nose or ears?
Fine.
Tongue?
No.
Nipples?
No.
Okay. All right.
So one of my thoughts is it sexual in nature? Tongue is generally yes. Nipples, yes.
Really? You think a tongue is?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What about their lip? Like right here. I mean, that used to be cool when I was a kid. Or the eyebrow. Dang, I used to want an eyebrow piercing so bad in high school. I never got one because my mom said no. Ooh, what about a belly button?
Sure.
I mean, I don't see any of our kids getting a belly button, but
a dick piercing or a labia piercing.
Jeez.
Or
really going deep on that one. I wasn't talking that. I'm talking like they want to get their nose pierced or their lip pierced or their tongue pierced or their ear. Okay, so lip, eyebrow, ear, nose. What do you think?
Yes. So all those are one of the things that
you really went for it with that one. Jeez.
So all those are fine because in the end, if they find it not appealing or whatever, it's easily reversible. You remove it, you wait a few weeks, and it heals up.
Right.
Gauging.
Oh no. No.
So that may be a no.
No. That's a no for me. Absolutely. And I've had lots of piercings. I've had belly button, tongue, well, my nose, ears. Yeah, that's about as far as I went. And I would never. I mean, if you have them, great for you. But for me, no. That would be a no for me.
So I will circle back with tattoos.
Yes. Okay. So you approve of the tattoo. So say it's I
don't care what the tattoo is. I care about where it lands.
Correct. Okay. So I am absolutely no-go on facial tattoos. Mm-hmm. But again, if you have them, that's for you. For our family and our children, especially under the age of 18. Now, if they're over 18 and they get a face tattoo, shit. But, there's nothing I can do about it. But so we are talking about the underage issue here. And yeah, no. And I don't think a tattoo parlor would even do that. But if they did, facial tattoos, no. Where else would you say no to?
Anything that is in a private area?
Okay, we're not doing that either.
Okay, well then.
No, I'm saying.
So I would say anything that's not visible.
Okay.
That's basically if you have a long sleeve shirt and pants on, or even like cargo shorts.
Right.
Would be okay.
Right, okay. So then the other thing is, so let me tell you a story about how when I was 15, my dad signed off on a tattoo for me on my lower back, and it was like this big, and I came home and my mom bawled her eyes out. Like, she would not talk to me for like 2 days. And I think it's ridiculous. Like, I love tattoos. I've got a bunch of them. I've got, then you can see them and everything else. So I would be okay with a tattoo that, again, yeah, isn't on your face. But I would sign off on a tattoo, and I would sign off on piercings that, yes, do not go below the neck. Is that what we would say? Or no, I mean a belly button. I mean, if you'd want a belly, I guess that's fine. But yeah, I would say below the neck.
I mean, other than a belly button, that's not in a weird spot. I don't know.
But let me tell you, I wanted an eyebrow piercing so bad. Did you ever want a piercing?
No.
No? I mean, he got like his first tattoo with me when we were married for a couple years, and you haven't gotten any
Nope.
since then, haven't had the inkling to it. So we're very different in that aspect. And maybe that's a millennial Gen Xer thing too. I don't know. But our oldest has approached me and wanting to get a tattoo. And I was like, sure, like tell me what you want. He hasn't done anything else with it. And then my youngest daughter, she wants to get her cartilage pierced for her birthday. And that's fine. She gets her nose pierced when she gets older. So yeah, I mean, I don't think we varied very differently on the parenting thing other than the baby mama drama type of situation. But let's just hope that that doesn't happen. Because holy crap, we're too young. Well, I'm too young to be grandma. You could be a grandpa. Could. Technically.
Pretty sure we won't have that.
He thinks that our kids won't have kids anytime soon or at all. So we'll see. But I bet they will. But maybe we don't have to worry about that right now. So anyway, this was fun. And again, I don't think that we differed that much on things, to be perfectly honest. Now, we have in the past, we've had some arguments about how to discipline our kids and how to do them. And I think that that's normal. And those are the types of things that you talk about even before you get married. And we got married pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Got married pretty quick. We got together. I moved in after 2 weeks. We got engaged after what, 9 months? Engaged after 9 months. We got married before we hit our 1 year anniversary, and here we are 9 years later. So go us. And I do think that we had some growing pains to go through because our middle is from his previous marriage and my two are from mine. And I think that while we all meshed really well, I think that there was some growing pains, and we're still learning. And as I said on my last podcast that we talked about teenagers are hard. We're barely treading water with these teenagers, and I hope none of these scenarios ever happen other than the piercing and the tattoo thing. Like, I kind of hope our kids get some piercing and tattoos because it'd be fun. But I really hope that the other things don't happen. But actually, no, the speeding thing did happen. And, oh yeah, the punching thing did happen. So, we're getting there. Anything else you want to add? Nope. All right. Well, thank you for joining us on another episode of Candy and Chaos. I promise next week we will be diving into crafting, and I may get my sister-in-law on the podcast because she's a serial crafter, just like I am. So we're going to kind of go over all of the crafts that I've ever done, and my husband just loves all the crafts that I've tried. And I do have another one on the back burner that I do want to try. So much to his dismay, maybe by the podcast next week, I'll be starting that new hobby already. So thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. Let us know how you would do any of these scenarios. I'd really be curious. And do you agree with my husband or do you agree with me? So remember, life is messy, candy is sweet, and you can do it all on Bougie on a Budget. Okay, bye.